Don't worry about the wounded, sweetie. We'll make sure they do not want for care. If I were stronger, how many people would still be alive? Well, I mean, she's like what? Like a 14 or 15-year-old girl? Like, I think she's doing pretty good, under the circumstances. The best way out. Okay, it looks like we're headed to Amarang now. Thancred seems keen to quit the infirmary. If you're ready, why not go on ahead to the ocular? You can keep the Exarch company while I fetch Alphino. Don't worry, I mean to borrow the swiftest Amaro I can find, so we shouldn't keep you long. Be sure to pass on that message, huh? I don't know. I'm sure this, people are going to react in different ways to all this stuff. But for me, it's just, this stuff has been so good in making me feel in the moment. Welcome, my friend. Tales of your heroism on the battlefield precede you, though I confess I found them more gladdening than surprising. I fear no few of our people have you to thank for plucking them from the jaws of death. Would that they had not needed saving to begin with, but the responsibility for that lies with me. And this is where we tell them the story. One of our soldiers said that. Thank you. Rest assured that I fully intend to continue our work. I will not shrink from what must be done, now least of all. Though I mourn the lost, I will not lose myself to grief, and even should regret be my constant companion, I will follow the path I have chosen to its end. What will you say? We have some time before the others arrive, if you'd like to talk. As will I. Man, I could use a talk right now. And if I were to confess any doubts I might harbor, no one need ever know? No, I believe you have enough burdens without my adding to them. Nevertheless, thank you. God, it just made me think I forgot about the conversation in Calusia. I look forward to that. Unfortunately, it's still a bit away.
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
I guess I could use the laugh now. He's certainly not.
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
He's not quite a sympathetic ear, but...
As I was saying, it was only with your aid that we weathered this assault. Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone.
For each we saved, another perished. If there is anything else we can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. This is our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for the attack itself, Vorthri may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is unprecedented. Moreover, in the absence of a Light Warden, There should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single, unavoidable conclusion.
Vothri is a Light Warden.
That these minions of light answer to a higher power. He who did claim kinship with them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Vothri.
Indeed. What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
I take it your meeting in Yulmore did not end well.
You could say that, yes. But I am wiser for the experience nevertheless. It appears he has mastered a technique which allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead. I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
Did you have any luck tracking down the Light Warden in Calusia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Arm-Arang?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the Warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Arm-Arang. From what the Maud told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Even should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks, and with no guarantee of finding anything.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light, do they not? Far beyond anything found in lesser Sin Eaters. And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a Sin Eater from miles away? Surely a Warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison. To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Menphilia. If we travel to Arm-Arang, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back. What do you think?
He knows.
Don't.
Yeah. After their last
Don't
conversation.
what? Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do. I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Oh, I see. I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation. But it all makes sense now. The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul. To wit, one being must consume the other. Who shall be the lucky winner?
This doesn't concern you, Ascian.
But it plainly concerns you. Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest. Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however, you have never once opened up to your young charge. Now, why would that be? Love. Well, I for one think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions. So, it's off to Armorang we go.
I'll meet you at the gates.
As infuriating as Emmett Salt can be sometimes, you know, like, sometimes you need somebody to speak it straight like that. If this is the course you have agreed on, I will not object, though I am afraid it will be difficult for us to spare any of the guard to accompany you. I can but promise that you will be well looked after upon your return. Just see to it that you do return, alright? If I had only been able to locate Calusia's Light Warden, it might not have come to this. Well, it's... because you don't think the Light Warden is going to be a person, if you want to call Vothri that. But that's something I never thought of, but it makes sense. He was there in Lakeland, and that's why they followed. I wonder how far his influence goes. Could he have commanded them just from Yulmore and they would have gone to Lakeland? Or does he start to lose that influence that far out? I can't imagine what Thancred must be feeling to behave this way. To say he's changed since coming here would be an understatement. He may as well be a different person. He reminds me of Father. He argued with us for months about our plan to go to Eorzea, but in the end, he accepted our decision. I do hope he's doing well. Yeah, he's doing fine, and he's an absolute dickhead. Thancred is way better than your dad. At least of what we know of him yet. There may be a change come Endwalker, but Minfilia demonstrated impressive resolve just now. It seems that she understands what must be done, though I do wonder if she is truly prepared to make the choice. Should she falter, it will fall to Thancred to guide her, however much he wishes it were otherwise. Though Thancred hath long known whither this path doth lead, his journey hath brought him no closer to acceptance. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, in the end, you have to basically... I mean, if it becomes his choice, which it really shouldn't ever, but to have to choose between two people you care about. Will you never grow tired of shuffling your feet? If you have something to ask me, ask. Tell me about Zodiark. As I told you before, Zodiark is the creation of my people, the first people. We summoned him as your kind might summon a primal, albeit an infinitely more powerful one. And like one of your primals, he tempered us. It was only natural. There is no resisting such power. And so we Ascians came to exist solely to bring about the rule of darkness, his darkness. Of course, some would call us evil for it, and they would be fools, though that is only to be expected given their innate inability to conceive of the nature of our universe. But I believe I am repeating myself. Do you not trust me to speak honestly? Do you hope to catch me in a lie? Really, I have no need of deception, and even if I did, I assure you, you would find it quite indistinguishable from the truth. Wow, okay, so he says he has no need to lie, but at the same time, if he did lie, you wouldn't know. But that's interesting. So he just completely admits that he and the other Ascians are tempered. And so that lends credence to the question of whether or not we are tempered. Because essentially we are to Hydaelyn as he is to Zodiark. Man, Endwalker is going to be interesting. It has to be. Yeah, it's to me, like, Endwalker is either going to be just mind-blowingly amazing or an absolute dud, and they would have to completely drop the ball. They would have to completely uncharacteristically go again, like, just everything we've seen so far. To me, there's no way that the story could be that bad in Endwalker. So to me, that's kind of bad to say that I'm expecting a really great story, because obviously you go in expecting something really great, you're just more likely to be let down. Temper expectations. Temper expectations. I'm sorry to be so insistent, but I know this is the only way. If you're willing to give me a chance, come with us. Of course I am. So wait for Nymphilia at Tessellation. I mean, that just seems like the exit out of the Crystarium. I would expect more around like the Amaro launch or something. Oh yeah, because we don't go there, I think, through Amaro. We take the long route through Lakeland. Sorry for the wait. I'm ready now. And you're sure you want to do this? Completely sure. There has to be another way. I'll go with the first one. Look, no matter what happens to me, I'm sure that I don't want to go back to being who I was. I want to be stronger, strong enough to face my destiny, and I want to believe that I can play a part in saving this world. I hope you can find it in yourself to believe it too. When you put it that way, how could we not? It is your decision to make. Just be sure that you are prepared when the time comes. If all are assembled, shall we depart? We'll follow your lead. What route would you have us take? About that, there's something I neglected to mention. I saw a Yulmoran airship coming into land over Almarang while I was on my way back to the Crystarium. No doubt the same vessel that bore Vothri's forces to Raktika. Meaning we can expect to encounter armed resistance on our journey through the region. Right. Now, Nabatharang lies in the southern reaches of Amarang, and there are two routes we can take to get there. The first is the eastern route, which would lead us past Mord Soak. The other is the western route, which would require us to pass through the Hills of Amber. Nymphilia and I took the eastern route last time. Yes, that's the more well-trodden path. It also makes for easier traversal of the Nabath Severance. But we can't use it. If we did, we'd need to cross the Severance from a point nearby the inn at Journey's Head. If the Yulmorns caught wind of our approach, it could very well bring them into contact with the inn and its patients. And we can be sure their activities would not meet with Vothri's approval. It will make the journey more arduous, but I believe it would be safer to take the western route, which brings me to my proposition. While you make for the Hills of Amber in the west, I will draw the Yulmorans' attention elsewhere, to an area in the east that I know to be uninhabited. That way, you'll have a chance at reaching Nabatharang unopposed, and without risk to civilians. I cannot deny that it's a sound plan, but nor can I allow you to go alone. My skills will make your task at least somewhat easier, will they not? I will accompany you as well. It will afford us a chance to have a proper conversation. I mean, is there a specific conversation she's wanting to have with them, or just to get reacquainted? And if I go with the others, I'm likely to say something Thancred will regret. Well then, we'll leave the work of distracting Vothri's forces to you. The rest of us will take the western route and try to avoid attracting attention. With that in mind, I think it best that we follow the road from the bridges. We'll move faster with a solid path under our feet. We'll borrow a few Amaro for our own journey. I leave the rest to you, Nymphilia. Thank you. I'll try not to disappoint. Yeah, okay. Would that we all had thy surety of purpose. We'll need to move quickly. The longer the others need to keep the Yulmorans busy, the more likely they are to be caught. There you are. The gate leading to Amarang is just up ahead. In all the time I've been here, I've never ventured into the Hills of Amber. Not that I'm particularly intimidated by new lands at this point, but we have more than enough reasons to be cautious as it is. Keep an eye on Nymphilia for me, would you? Now, will we get a new cutscene for this half of the zone? Because I don't know that we got those for similar zones in Stormblood. Or even Heavensward. I'm ready, let's go. Almarang lies just beyond the gate. We need only speak to the sentry. We shall walk. Who shall walk among us upon our return, I wonder? What is that supposed to mean? Oh, he's talking about Minfilia. I was like, are you like, is that supposed to be a comment about somebody dying along the way? Or that I'll be changed after taking on the next Light Warden? But it's obviously it was about Minfilia. Off so soon, Mr. Shark. You've barely had time to recover from the battle. Well, if you're certain, I'm hardly in a position to question you. I love this music.
Take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on, for joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garrick lie the hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
A village so near. How convenient. Sound though Mistress Alize's logic was, I fear the road less traveled hath other perils in store for us. Indeed it does. I don't know so much as perils, but definitely some legwork and elbow grease. This place has been scarred by the flood too. Who can say what lies ahead? But whatever else this road may be, it is mine to travel, and I don't plan to take a moment of the time I spend upon it for granted. Thank you all for watching. Tonight's stream was emotional. So we finished up Raktika with Katana Ravel, and then unbeknownst to me, I did not remember. I thought we were going to go straight into Amarang. There was the whole attack on the Crystarium and Lakeland, which I had just forgotten about, and it's such a great sequence, great cutscenes. Definitely, I would say the most emotionally gripping of Shadowbringers so far. And yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did and you want to see more, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join me live, the link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Thank you again, and I hope you have a good one.